Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Rules Horror. Story 1. You are in danger, you must act quickly to survive. A place to share scary stories which contain a set of rules to follow. Emergency alert. Received less than 1 minute ago. This is a message of the National Bureau of Civilian Safety sent to all individuals within a 40 km radius from the Treskow-on-Sea Parapsychology and Advanced Mental Research Institute. A severe non-disclosed failure has taken place in this facility which compromises the safety of all citizens nearby. If you are reading this message, you are in danger. You must act quickly to survive. The estimated time you have to protect yourself is 7 minutes and 32 seconds. It is too late to leave. Your best chance of survival depends on the strict compliance with this rules. Act swiftly and orderly. Read this advisory message while you start preparing yourself and your loved ones. If you are at home, go to Section A. If you are in a public building, please follow the instructions you will be given by the pertinent authorities. If you are outdoors, go to Section B. If the estimated time, according to your current location, is less than 5 minutes, go to Section C. Section A. What you should do. Try to collect the largest amount of tap water you can while the water supply still holds. Gather as much supplies as you are able, only if you are sure that you will be able to come back to your residence before the countdown stops. Silence will be your friend for the following days. All noise above 30 dB, whispering, rustle of leaves, must be actively avoided. Animal Welfare and Protection Act 2017 has been revoked until further notice. Pets and other animals that cannot be granted to remain silent may be euthanized if required. Close all doors and windows. Do not let light from the inside leak outside. Nevertheless, avoid dark corners in your house. If a room cannot be properly lighted, the room must be sealed. It is vital to remember the number and position of all windows in your house. In the event of an unknown window appearing where there was none, leave your house immediately. Mirrors must be covered or destroyed if necessary. Although counterintuitive, avoid basements or any space below surface level and rooms without windows / only with one door. It is easier for them to trap you there. Time may flow strangely during the following days. Keep yourself oriented with an analog clock. Do not trust electronic devices. The closer they are, the slower time will go. Remember to be as quiet as you can. If all clocks stop suddenly, leave your house immediately. If you can see them, they can see you. If they have spot you, go to Section C. This measures will remain in place until further notice by the NBCS. Do not trust anyone or anything encouraging you to leave your house until an official statement by the NBCS. In the unlikely event of being forced to evacuate your house, go to Section B. Section B. What you should do. If you are able to return home or seek shelter in a public building relative / friend / acquaintance's house, do it before countdown stops. If not, you ought to look for designated Level 1 shelters in your area on our website. Do not trust sudden hospitality from total strangers. Under no circumstances you should go into a Level 1 shelter if it is not marked with a double green diamond. That is not a shelter. In the unlikely event of being outside without shelters nearby once the lockdown takes place, go to Section C. Section C. What you should do. First of all, keep calm. Do not act briskly. Remember the golden rule, be quiet. Unfortunately and at 8:02 there is nothing you can do. They are here. There is nothing you can do. It will be painless, believe me. There is nothing you can do. Thyra here. There is nothing you can do. I can say you I am here, let main there's nothing to be afraid. Story 2. ASTF Training. A place to share scary stories which contain a set of rules to follow. Congratulations on joining ASTF. I'm sure that all insert number here will do great. After that small message, an ASTF member walked into the room with a CRT television on cart. Underneath the TV is a VHS player and a tape labeled New Hires. The member inserts the tape, then goes to stand by the exit. The television begins to play the tape with the first message being a set of rules. Rule 1. Please hold all questions till the end of the recording. Failure to cooperate will result in termination from the program. As that message is being played, the only other person to make it to this room with you proceeds to try and walk out claiming they want to leave. As they do, the ASTF member by the door draws their firearm and executes them on the spot before putting the weapon away. Looking back at the TV, the second rule is displayed. Rule 2. All information is classified and telling any information to any outsiders will result in interrogation and termination. As that message is being played, you can hear the faint sound of someone screaming the word stop before another gunshot rings out. The third rule is now being displayed. Rule 3. Any other worldly entity is regarded as hostile. Under no circumstance shall they be approached. Examples of approaching such entities will now be displayed. Video recording from body cam footage started to play as what seemed to be past members approaching a large yet thin rabbit animal. It lied down for a moment before standing on its hind legs and piercing its fingers into the closest human being. It proceeded massacre the other members. The fourth rule was now displayed. Rule 4. If at any moment you are taken hostage by the following, RC citizens, entities, foreign groups, Rouge ASTF members, and the mayor of RC, then self-termination is your only option. Failure to follow through will result in a controlled explosion. The TV began to display members that followed the rule, all of their heads hung low, not a single form of movement to be seen. It then displayed members that failed to follow the rule. Their heads were split open like a flower during the spring, with brain matter and blood splattered all around the environment. The fifth rule was now displayed. Rule 5. Respect the higher-ranking officials. They have been here longer and have the right to terminate you from the program at any moment they see fit. The member that was previously at the door was now sat down beside you. You couldn't see their eyes through their mask, but you can definitely feel their gaze locked onto yours before they got up and went back to the door. The body of the other recruit was still on the floor, motionless and stiff. Rule 6. Stay assigned to your post and report anything out of the ordinary. Failure to do so will result in your untimely demise, ranging from quick and painful to slow and painful. This is the end of the recording. The tape clicked and the TV shut off. The member by the door gave you your uniform with your rank and number and then a paper detailing your post. After putting on the uniform and running to your post, you see one last list of rules on a small paper stapled to your watch box. It reads as follows. Entry Gate 3 SE Whiskey Echo Lima Lima 6. Rule 1. Flash the light out into the surrounding area to keep the dogs at bay. If they get too close, they will rip your legs off first and then drag you into the dark to eat you alive. Rule 2. Keep an eye on your watch box, since the dogs like to get in there, and it has an emergency alarm that alerts the guards of the ASTF building to get rid of anything that you can't get rid of. If this alarm is triggered and nothing is there for them to get rid of, they will become a firing squad and get rid of you. Rule 3. Question any and every citizen that comes near your post. Have their name and time of questioning documented. Failure to do this will result in your actions being considered to go against the city. A public execution will take place the very next morning. The death may be of your choosing. After reading that, you find a camera placed high on a telephone pole near your post. Death by their hands is all but guaranteed unless you learn to play along. After all, this job was created to make a difference in the city, and you want to make a difference, don't you? Story 3. Rules for Gravemart Night Shift. A place to share scary stories which contain a set of rules to follow. So, you're the new addition to the night shift? I'd congratulate you, but this isn't a position to praise. Yes, we do some important work and pick up on the slack that the previous crew missed, but there's far more than stocking shelves when it comes to this time of night. Here are some things to note about the night shift, drill it into your head if needed. Don't try to make loopholes with the rules. Just follow them like a normal person. I made this list for you to be safe, not to lawyer it. Rules for Night Crew. Follow the dress code. This is one of the few rules that isn't enforced via direct danger, but things will be far less lenient if you are perceived to be annoying by management. It's best to stay on their good side. If you're working on frozen foods, and see that the freezer door has a large amount of fog built up from the inside, don't open it or even approach it. Try not to react to the teeth around the edges of the door, either. They react to prey opening their door and dragging them inside, but they also sense nearby heartbeats. If it senses you, don't let the tongue reach you. It will give up pursuit if you stay out of its range for a few seconds. When stocking or facing shelves, make sure each item is stacked neatly in a row of at least 2. Failure to keep the aisles looking full this way will result in a write-up. You do not want to be in a meeting with management. You will be working with 2 other employees for the night. There's me of course, and Todd. You can identify me by either growing a brain and remembering the dude who gave you this note, my name tag, or the fact I'm the only person who wears a beanie in the night crew. Though, make sure that the beanie is green. I only wear the same beanie, and if I'm wearing anything else, that's not me. Keep conversations with this doppelganger brief, but speak with them the same way you would with me. Do not acknowledge that you know it's a doppelganger, and when you end interactions, keep your eye on them until you break line of sight. Todd isn't human. Treat him like one though, he works damn hard and is decent company for something that could eviscerate you. Todd is a smoker, and will occasionally take a smoke break. If he invites you out back with him, politely decline. The stuff he smokes has deadly fumes that can scar your skin, and far worse if you breathe it in. Otherwise, Todd is good to be around. He's our security guard, and any unruly customers are to be brought to Todd. Don't stick around for the aftermath, but rest assured that Todd is also our janitor. He makes sure to clean the messes that he makes. Return all abandoned carts found around the store to the front end by 2 a.m. Failure to do this will result in a write-up. Remember to not accumulate too many, because nobody has come back down from a meeting with management. If you encounter an employee with a name tag labeled Rick, tell him he can clock out for the night, and to rest in peace. Do not start a conversation with him, and don't look back at him after you've dismissed him. Rick was the worker in your position before you arrived, and he's the last one to talk with management. The only thing they left behind was his body. Your hourly wage is $20 per hour. As much as calculating wages sucks, do it. Don't try to pocket extra money if you were given more than owed. Management likes to test an employee's wits. And if you find an error, file a complaint. Do not cash a check that is anything below or above your owed amount. Failure to comply will result in a write-up. If you arrive at the store, and both entrances are locked and the lights inside are flickering, leave. Todd is dealing with a shoplifter, and it's not a pretty sight to see. I recommend the donut place to the left of the store to pass the time. Come back after 30 minutes and the store should be back to normal. Continue with your shift as normal, and give Todd a paper towel when you get a chance. He always forgets to clean his face after his job. You have a radio, use it. When completing work on an aisle or section, radio to me and I will give you your next task. However, make sure that it's me giving the order. If you have suspicion that it's not me, say Rule 10. If I respond with "that's what the list is for," do what you were told. If you hear any other response, disregard it and go on your break. After your 15-minute break, radio me again and repeat Rule 10. Management will only try that trick once in a shift. That should be all. Feel free to chat with me during the shift, it gets lonely late at night. Same goes for Todd, but try not to mention meat around him, he gets easily excited. Remember these rules well, and enjoy your shift. James. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.